morning, everybody, and welcome to Saturday School from the Internet Business School. My name is Roger Norris. I'm the coach who looks after automations and systems for the Internet Business School, and everything that goes on in the office, everything online, basically a bit of absolutely everything. So today on Saturday School, welcome if you're joining us live, and great if you're joining us on one of our Saturday School YouTube channel, catching up. I hope you're enjoying it. There's lots of content for you to work through. So today on Saturday School, just a little bit of a first up. I want to, let's just go back a slide. Just to remind people that in a couple of weeks' time, we have a live event. It's our first live event back after sort of lockdowns and everything. So we're going to be 2nd to 3rd of July down in Heathrow. Just a simple price ticket to book a seat. Gets you 2 days of speakers. You get to see Simon at last, and all the coaches will be there. I don't think I'll be there. I think I'm back at base, keeping an eye on everything. But there's going to be some great range of speakers who will be able to just give you an update on what's happening in internet marketing. So if you need to, there's a shortcut there for to get on bit.ly/DBB early bird. There we are. I've got a little bit here. I've just found it on my screen and I'll put it into chat. So if anyone is got a weekend free, then grab a £10 ticket and we'll see you there. You will actually get to see Simon before I do. I don't think I've seen him face to face since before the lockdown, because we work remotely. So have a look at that. There's some great stuff. Okay, so today I'm kind of when we were writing the messages out for this event. Okay, I get to write my own email copy for the emails that we send out, and I kind of teased you a little bit as to what we were going to be talking about today. Okay, so what I think would be really good first is just to find out what to do a little poll. Okay, just to find out which software platforms you might have used. Okay, that are relevant to the one I'm going to talk about today. So I'm just going to pop a poll in now. Okay, so I'm kind of want to know if you've ever used or have experience of Leadpages or ClickFunnels or Kajabi or Taxjar. Okay, for sort of prime platforms. So Leadpages would be, and you can answer more than one on those. Okay, so Leadpages is a good one for creating lots of different landing pages. So it might be something you do if you're doing affiliate marketing. ClickFunnels kind of does the everyone's heard of ClickFunnels. I don't know how many people have used it, but you do more intricate funnels that you can drive traffic to, and you have upsells and downsells and several different sort of pages and stages within the funnel. Kajabi is the course software that we use for our members area. So we hold all our courses in Kajabi, and Taxjar kind of does the same job as all of those. It's a big, expensive software platform that you can do email marketing out of as well and make courses. Okay, so it kind of depends on which one you prefer. If you haven't had any experience of it, then it's not a problem. Then this poll is not for you, and hopefully we'll teach you what this system I'm going to talk about could do for you. That's good. Yeah, Hazel, yeah, you haven't used a software platform before. It's not a problem. It might just be that your business isn't ready for it yet. You haven't had a need to do it. But it's always good that to know what the potentials of these platforms are, so that when it does come to the time, you can make an informed choice. Robert, hi Robert. Yeah, you've tried System EIO. Yeah, that's a good system. I didn't put that on the list just because I was looking at the sort of big people. Craig, don't worry about it if you can't submit on the poll. If you haven't used any of the first ones, that's not a problem. Ali, what about Groove Funnels? Yeah, I've left Groove Funnels on there. There's a lot of people using it, and it's going okay. I think we're sort of reserving judgment on the direction that it's going on, because it kind of bit off a bit more than it could chew, and had to sort of wind backwards a bit to try and get a bit more stability into the platforms. Okay, all right, so that gives me a brief idea of what we've done. So let's just sort of have a quick look at those results. Okay, so yeah, a few people have used Leadpages and ClickFunnels. A few people have tried Kajabi. One person with Kartra, cool. Okay, and most people are using it for landing pages, selling bits and pieces, and a couple of people with courses. And I'll put 3 in there because Craig said he was doing online courses. That's cool. That's lovely. So we've got a few people who've got some experience. Okay, but lots of different reasons why people are using these types of software. Okay, so I'm just going to close that poll. That's cool. And then we shall reveal the one that I'm going to be talking about. So the one that the platform that we started using in probably only about November 2020. So it's only been about a year and a half that we've used it. It's something called SamCart. Okay, so what I'm going to do is show through what SamCart can do and what its origins are, and then kind of do a bit of comparison against those other software items that we just looked at in that poll. And then I'm going to show you how you can set up a SamCart account, because it has a 14-day trial. And then we're going to have a deep dive inside on the setup and all the features. Okay, so first off, do we have anyone on here who has ever used SamCart? Just pop it into the chat. Or have you heard of SamCart? Anyone got any experience? Don, no, that's fine. It's not a problem. Yeah, there's no one yet has owned up to ever using it. Robert's heard of it, which is good. Andrew's heard of it. And you know people who use it, that's cool. That's Paul's heard of it, looked at it, and now gets adverts from it the entire time. The joy of remarketing on the internet. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to show you through what it can do. Okay, so we're going to have a look at some features and comparisons that I put together. Might not be perfect because it was just my sort of quick view of all the platforms and what they could do. Okay, so primarily SamCart I think it was launched in about 2014 from based in America, and it was launched by a couple of guys who basically the whole focus was selling online, and it was lots of products, physical products, digital products, and they were interested in the whole checkout process, so making as smooth a checkout process as possible, and giving as much sort of flexibility to an internet marketer to add upsells and increase the cart value, and also to build a database and build reliability for the customers. And over the years, it's grown and grown and grown, and more bits have been added on. And so essentially, it started out as a kind of like unlimited landing pages. You can sell unlimited products through unlimited pages, just as a link. So the ideal, if you're on a web page or on a Facebook ad that says, here's my product, or here's a video of that product, bang, you can buy it here. Then it clicks through to a purchase page with all the features, and you can set up sort of automatic delivery of that purchase if it's electronic, or you can link it into sort of physical delivery as well. So it's a really important part of the stage of closing the deal on a sale. So primarily, that's what it does. It doesn't have a website as such, and you can't do sort of email marketing directly from it, but you can build, and I'll show you, you can build your email list, and you can link in most of the email marketing systems. And as soon as someone purchases, you automatically put their details across to your something like your MailChimp or your ActiveCampaign account. So they integrate really, really well, which is one of the great reasons I love it. You can also, from June last year, they launched with big fanfare a course creation side, which really is a bit of a game changer for SamCart, because it's not just a shopping cart now. It is sort of crunching on the heels of someone like Kajabi and Taxjar to say, hey, we do courses as well. And it's I haven't actually built a course in SamCart yet, but we're going to take a look at it today to see how that works. And so because they've got courses, you've got a membership site included in it. Okay, so it's really good value, which is crazy. So you can get started with SamCart $49 a month. If you pay on a yearly price, with all of these things, you get sort of 20 to 25% discount. But most sensible people will just say, look, I'm going to pay monthly and spread the cost and the cash flow. So they started off with a launch plan, $49, growth plan, $99, and then a bigger scale plan. And the higher up you go, the more features you get. But interesting enough, they're not like some of look at things like Kajabi and Taxjar. Their prices are based on the number of contacts you have in your account. And SamCart don't care about that. Unlimited, not a problem. They just have a flat fee with absolutely no additional fees anywhere else. There's no additional processing fees, so any money you take is yours. Okay, they just want your monthly subscription. That's it. They don't charge you for any extra video uploads for courses. You can have as many as you like. They've just launched a brand new service for video hosting for your courses, absolutely free. It's amazing. You know, you could go and spend hundreds or on things like Wistia and Vimeo, and you don't need to do it because it's all included now in SamCart. Okay, so fundamentally, there's some really good core features there. Leadpages is similar in terms of price. It does give you a sort of custom domain website. I think you can do 3 sites with Leadpages Basic, and you've got all your with Leadpages gives you pop-ups and things like that as well that you can put onto pages, and it does sort of I think Leadpages, obviously, but under its name, it gathers all the leads within that within that platform, so you can follow up on them. Okay, and it does sort of A and B testing. But in terms of stand side by side, I think for the money, you get more for your money with SamCart compared to Leadpages. If you're just using Leadpages for the unlimited landing pages, then I think you get more flexibility with SamCart. ClickFunnels starts at 97 basic, goes up to 297. I think with the basic, you only get about 20 funnels and 100 pages. And you also get limits to the monthly visits to your funnels. I think it's 20,000. So if you're doing something big on there, the prices can go up quite quickly, and you can quite happily hit the sort of 297 figure. So you've got to be a bit careful with those ones. Kajabi is primarily about selling courses. It does give you your own website and unlimited landing pages, and it does email marketing for you as well, on the basic plan up to 10,000 contacts you can have. But on this basic plan, you're actually limited to three courses initially, 3 products to sell. And I don't know whether you noticed that if you've been looking at Kajabi over the last sort of 12 months, the prices have gone through the roof. It used to be about a year ago, basic plans where you could get for easily under $100, and with promotions sometimes as low as sort of $50, $60 a month, and they were doing sort of 6-week trials, but their prices have just gone through the roof. $150 a month for the basic plan, which to me is just like, well, I think they're pricing themselves out of the market a little bit, and they haven't really added too much significant functionality for that price. There's nothing amazing that's appeared. They've just sort of tweaked some of the background stuff. So yeah, I think, has anyone else noticed that with Kartra or with Kajabi in terms of pricing? No, that's fine. It's obviously just me that keeps an eye on all the prices of these platforms, because I just keep on getting messages through from them all the time, because I'm using them all the time. But yeah, I'm just worried about them at $150 a month. We will still use them because we've got a founder's account with them, which gives us unlimited courses and lots of different benefits, because we've been with them from like about 2015. So we're fine keeping everything there, but yeah, I'm hesitant to recommend them anymore. Kartra again starts at $99, and that gives you up to, I think it's 2,500 contacts, leads, and you're limited to sort of only 15,000 marketing emails a month for that price. So quite quickly, and I think actually, yeah, on the basic plan, you can sell, it's more than Kajabi, it's 20 products you can sell, and have 2 different membership sites. But again, the prices for that are going to ramp up quite quickly. So, but the main reason we look at these comparisons is that there's sort of 5 very different types of software there, all sort of intersecting a little bit in some areas, and people have also put in that Groove Pages and System.io. Okay, but whatever you choose has to be right for you, for your particular setup and needs. Okay, so there's no right and wrong in you having Kartra and me saying you should have SamCart. You should only have it if it fits into your model. Okay, you should have the right software, but you should also be prepared down the line to maybe change to a different platform for different usage. So that's why it's always good to be aware of what's going on and what's available. Okay, so let's see if we can make this work. Let's click across. There we are. I'm just going to see if this is going to play. So I thought it would be nice to actually hear SamCart in what it's about from their words. And I think I've enabled sound, so I'm just going to play this video. Okay, and hopefully it will explain more. Come on, play.
Welcome to SamCart, the e-commerce platform for creators. Whether you are selling online courses, ebooks, digital downloads, or billing clients for services, SamCart is where you get paid for whatever it is that you do. At SamCart, you can sell anything and everything using our library of pre-made templates that have been used to generate billions of dollars in sales. Bring your sales page to life with the drag and drop builder. Offer your customers more ways to pay you by selling payment plans, subscriptions, bundles, and even pay what you want offers. You can sell your products as one lump sum or break up those payments into smaller chunks with payment plans. You can grow your recurring income with built-in subscriptions. And these are just a few ways that SamCart makes it easy for you to get paid for what you do. And now built into every single SamCart account is the brand new SamCart courses, the perfect solution for securely delivering your video courses, ebooks, and memberships all in one place. And it is built right into every single SamCart account. With the new SamCart courses, you can create a robust lesson plan for your students and even drip out the content on your own schedule. You can boost your sales by selling different tiers and bundles of your course. And did you know that right now, over 30% of your students never even make it to the first video? Which is why we developed SamCart's auto-enroll technology, which seamlessly takes your students from buying to learning in one simple step. No lost passwords, no support tickets, just more happy customers getting exactly what they bought every time. But what if you're a brand new course creator? Or you've always wanted to add an online course to whatever it is that you already sell? Then do not miss the SamCart Course Creation Challenge. Over 20 videos and lessons that will help you launch your first online course in just 14 days. You'll learn everything from cameras and lighting to launching and selling your first online course. And whenever you're ready, you can showcase and sell your course on one simple page. Built with SamCart's drag and drop editor. Easily create high converting sales pages by adding video trailers, countdown timers, and more. Our mission at SamCart is to put the selling power of the world's largest brands into your hands, multiplying your sales with powerful features like one-click upsells, order bumps, and more. In fact, SamCart's database proves that adding a single one-click upsell increases your average order value by 68%. And next are the order bumps. Just one order bump boosts sales by an average of 31%. Create your first bump, and 1 out of 3 customers is going to hit that add to order button and make you more money. Selling subscriptions? Well, what are you doing about failed payments? Your customers' credit cards are constantly being lost, stolen, or expiring. So what happens when those payments fail? Well, instead of chasing down your clients, we created the SamCart Subscription Saver. SamCart automatically updates your customers' credit cards without you lifting a finger. So your subscription payments come in on time, which lets you focus back on growing your business. And for any advanced sellers doing 6 figures and up already, SamCart has all the tools you need to keep scaling. You can A/B test your product pages in real time and let the results guide you to your next move. You can see which version of your page converts the highest and make more money in the process. Turn your business into a well-oiled machine by integrating SamCart with all of your favorite tools for sending emails, managing contacts, and even doing your taxes. SamCart's integrations let you effortlessly track your return on ad spend, create new customer profiles, automatically ship out your products, and keep your team in the loop with updates and notifications. So let's launch your next course, ebook, mastermind group, CPG brand, or digital agency today. SamCart is home to over 20,000 creators who have sold more than $2 billion of their own products and services on SamCart. You can join them today and see why the right tool makes all the difference. Get started for free today at samcart.com.
Cool. So that's SamCart in their own words. hope it gives you a kind of an overview of everything that they do. Okay, there is
Welcome to SamCart.
Another video that goes through the courses, but I think I might skip that because it's much easier for
Hey,
me
it's Scott
to speak. Okay, so I'm going to skip through a bit more and just look at the sort of different price plans and how an account gets set up. Okay, so I took the plunge and I signed up for a 14-day free trial on the Grow plan, the $99. I've set myself a reminder to cancel it because I've got the we've got the 199 scale plan at the Internet Business School. But I thought it was really good to go through the process of showing you how it works. Obviously, at different prices, you get different functionality, but the core functionality for the $49 is all those landing pages and the courses module that are in there. When you start going up to the $99 level, you get more features involved, like upsells. And then at the 199 level, you get things like subscription savers and an affiliate site as well, so that you can have affiliates selling your products for you as well, and various other bits and pieces. So the first thing to do is to go to the sign up page. Okay, which I'll just drop in there. Get samcart.co.uk, and then just choose the plan that you're looking for. So no problem if you're going for the $49 plan. It's a good value if you want all those landing pages. Okay, and I've screenshotted the whole process to demystify it, and so you can be ready for the information that's needed. So as soon as you press to choose your plan, you get this screen up just to agree to get started. Skip through one. I just need to click. My mouse wheel is being a bit aggressive. Okay, and then you create your account, put in the email address you want associated with your login, and pop in a password. It will then send you an email to verify your email address. So you can move on. Okay, and then importantly, you're into your store setup. Okay, so you pop in a store name. Okay, so that's your business name, or if you're selling stuff on behalf of yourself, it could just be your name in there. Okay, and then you've got to choose a SamCart store URL, which is a maximum of 15 characters. Okay, so characters, I think there's no sort of it's just letters that can go in there, no extra punctuation or anything like that. So whatever you put in there is going to feature in the your URLs for your eventual products. Okay, so people will be visiting Internet Business School, well, 14 characters of that, 15 characters of that, or rogernorris.samcart.com if it was my courses. Okay, so just you have a little think about what works for you. It doesn't really matter as long as it identifies whatever phrase you have in there identifies to your customers, that it links to you. Okay, then you upload a logo. Okay, again, you can do that later, and it needs to be a transparent PNG, which you can make on Canva. Just pop in, download a transparent PNG in Canva, and put the logo in. But so you can do that after you've been through the setup. Then you pop in the country, and that's the main country that you trade in. For most people, it's going to be their home country. And then very importantly, really importantly, you have to choose the currency that you trade in. Okay, super important, you are fixed on that currency. So if you put pounds in, then all of your checkouts are going to be in pounds. If you put US dollars in, everything's going to be in US dollars. You cannot change it afterwards. If you wanted a second account if you bought one in pounds and you wanted a second account in dollars, you'd then have to pay for a second account, unless you were on one of the premium plans. So we're on the top plan, and we get a second account in dollars. Okay. So very important to get that currency bit right, and also pop in your time zone as well of where where you're trading, because that'll be the time zone that sort of dictates itself to your customers of when they purchase and etc. So get that right, and then you have a contact email address, so like a support email address, which you can pop in there. Or, you know, if it's just yourself in there doing unlimited landing pages, you can pop in your personal email address, whatever you allow people to contact you on. You know, if you've got someone who has bought something and you need to get sorted out, then that is really important, and it has to be filled in before you can sell anything. Okay. Let me just skip on. Right. Once you've set up that cart information, okay. Oh, I think I've gone through one more. I skipped through one there. Okay. You have to put in the details of your business and what sector you're in. So it's quite happy they let you put in that whether you're just starting out or whether you've got lots and lots of sales, and what business area you're in, just so they can keep a check on what type of creator you are, and what stuff you're selling. So it only takes a moment just to skip through that. And then you get to the important part about adding payment processors. So SamCart is built to work particularly well with Stripe, and that is the payment processor that they prefer. So to get a Stripe account, you can do it from this setup process. I don't need a Stripe account myself, so I went through about sort of 4 or 5 of the stages before I dropped out, and it's really dead easy. But you do have to have a registered business for Stripe, I believe. So it's not going to be right for everybody, but if you want the best functionality, then and you're doing affiliate marketing as a business or selling products as a business, you will get that Stripe account and get the lower fees that offers. I think it's 1.4% plus 20p for Stripe in the UK. So it's very low fees compared to some of the other processors. So yes, if you've got a Stripe account already, you can just add it through this process. Okay. If you choose to add other providers, you can add a Braintree via PayPal service. So I think that's more the sort of Braintree is a more top-end PayPal service for integrating into email not email marketing, but sort of digital sales platforms. And there's also something called Easy Pay Direct, where you have a merchant account. I haven't looked into that, but if you have an Easy Pay Direct account, you can add that in. For most people, unless you've got that Stripe account, you can go to just choose to add in your payment processor later. Okay, which is what I did. Okay, so once you've done all those steps, then you're done, and it takes you through to your dashboard. Okay, and this is where you kind of land up. We'll jump out of the slides in a while and we'll have a look at the live. You can see essentially you get a dashboard of all your metrics. See, once you've got live products and etc. This will start making more sense. You can go for your products, and I'll show you this is sort of sales and customers and payments, your upsell funnels, lots of different reports, and this is where we'll access the courses app. Okay, you've got account details over here and various other libraries, which I'll show you. Okay, at the moment I've got this big orange band up here that says I can't take payments yet because I haven't put a payment processor in fully. Okay, so I was going to show you what I did do is I started working on my trial account to put in PayPal. Okay, and it's a little bit of a mission trying to figure it out. So this little section here is worth the entrance fee. To add PayPal to SamCart, you've got to have a PayPal business account, but it's very easy to request to upgrade a free PayPal account to a business account. It doesn't take much for them to upgrade your account if you just give them some information about a business you're running. And ideally, or very ideally, you need to ask PayPal to allow something called reference transactions on your PayPal account. They are the ones that then allow you to add subscriptions or multi-pay payments and take regular monthly payments. So if you were adding any sort of upsells onto your account, or a monthly membership fee, you would need to have those reference transactions enabled in your PayPal to be able to do it. So the difficult thing with PayPal is everyone's account seems to look a little bit different, but so there's very little consistency. On mine, I had to go up to the account settings up here under the name icon and go on account settings, and it brings up account access first. Okay, and once you bring up account access, you've got to where did that go? Did that skip through an extra slide there? I think it might have done. Oh no, sorry, account access, and then you're going to click on the API access section. That's what I missed. Tell you to click on the API access. That then takes you to a page that looks something like this, which could get really quite confusing as to which options you pick. But I did work out that it is this MVP SOAP integration, or the classic integration. Okay, you don't need to know anything of what this means, but you just need to know to click here, and then you get a screen that asks you to request an API signature. So you click on that and then agree and submit, and that brings up a box in PayPal, okay, which shows you can show your API username, password, and signature. Okay, now when we go into SamCart, I'll show you where this is exactly. When you're asked to connect a PayPal account, it then does ask for a nickname for this account. So I just put Roger PayPal, and this is where you put in API username, password, and signature from these three boxes. Okay. Obviously, they're quite important bits of information that you wouldn't want to share with anyone, so I'm not going to show you them exactly, but it is just a copy and paste job, and then submit, and then that sets up your initial PayPal connection. Okay, if you haven't got the reference transactions set up, then you should just be able to take single payments. You won't be able to take regular payments. All right, so that's a walkthrough on the basic setup, and then what we're going to do is we're going to jump out in a moment and actually have a look at SamCart in the wild. Robert says, "What? No affiliate link? Do they not have an affiliate program?" Oh, Robert. Okay, just to be heads up, this is a link that I created from a domain, which does actually forward to an affiliate link, which doesn't cost you anything. You still get, this will take you to the pricing page of SamCart. Okay, but full declaration, it is an affiliate link. Jay, just to buy me a cup of tea for office biscuits for the information that we give you. Okay, but yeah, getsamcart.co.uk will take you to the pricing page where you can decide and have a look and jump in, have the 14-day free trial. It doesn't cost anything. Okay, so I'm going to jump out the slides and drop this down and just go back to, I had it on the home screen, and I'm just going to go to the main dashboard. Okay, hopefully you can see all that. Yeah, I think it's still showing. It's still sharing properly on that side. Just drop me a message in the chat. Someone drop me a message in the chat to say that you can see that. Yeah, okay, thank you, Peter. Okay, brilliant. I always get nervous when you come out of the slide decks as to where we go. Okay, so here's the heads up of that actual front page. Okay, obviously I can't show you the Internet Business School account that we use, because it has all our customer information and financials in it. Okay, now it would be lovely to see some of these sort of populated for you, but I would be building a course and buying it for myself to set that up for you, and I just kind of haven't had enough time to get all that sorted for you. Okay, but what I like about the sort of the front page of the dashboard that shows your sales and profit is it does have a few strange things, LTVs, whatever that is. Okay, so but it does have this helpful hover button that tells you that an LTV is the daily snapshot of total gross sales divided by the number of unique customers from the entire history of your account. So I think it's kind of like how much your regular customers are buying on new products. You can check your refunds, your profits, your orders, your page views, conversions, and then if you've got subscriptions, monthly payments, all those crucial figures will be in there. Churn rate, if anyone's ever got sort of regular monthly payments, that's an important figure for you, which is the number of sort of cancelled subscriptions divided by the number of active subscriptions. So it's quite whether your subscription base is growing or whether it's shrinking. And then in here with your sales, there'll be a graph that goes up and down. All right, so that's just a useful overview. The first place to head off to, okay, is with all of these things is the settings menu, which is where a lot of the basic setup starts. And you need to come in here first. Okay, so this is where you can upload more logos. Okay, so it gives you the opportunity of 2 logos, a light and a dark, because people have now got choices on their browsers of whether they have dark mode or light mode. So this will show the right logo depending on their browser choice, which is a really great feature. You can put in a little favicon as well. For those who don't know what a favicon is, it's the little image that appears in the window tab is the favicon. So it's a good part to good way of getting your branding in there. You should have your default country, and then chuck in your address as well. So that would be your business address for people to get to. And you get the option of putting that receipt on your address on your receipts as well. This is where your time zone is, and that support email from the setup. There's the currency bit that you cannot change now. And then we get into things like tax settings. Now, for us, the tax bit is, it's a bit sort of dull, but one of the prime features of SamCart is it is integrated with a service called Taxjar, which calculates and knows all the digital sales tax rates of around the world, because every different country has its own digital sales tax. So in the UK at the moment, we kind of have VAT, and we don't have a formal digital sales tax as yet. But in a lot of countries around the world, they're starting to introduce digital sale taxes at higher rates. So I think if you're in Slovenia, I think it's about 21%. If you're in Ireland, it's 22%. In America at the moment, it's 0 for digital sales tax from the UK to America. But then America has lots of, if you're trading inside America, it has lots of different state taxes. And it can get super confusing. Have we got any people trading from America on here? I haven't seen anyone who'd pop up in chat. But if you're selling in Texas, yeah. Hey, David. Yeah. Jay's on. Yeah. It can be quite confusing selling between states and different products in America. And the tax rates are different on different products, and it can be really arduous to set that up. But I say SamCart has that built in, and I'll show you how it works. And it just saves you so much time. Okay, there's bits in here for setting up the default delivery of your products. So some people might be sent you might be sending people a digital download link that you can set the expiry date on there for your download link. You can put in sort of tracking scripts in here, so you can put in pixels as well in headers and footers. You could put in a live chat script or something like that into a footer, so that you had a live chat that appeared on all your sales pages, so that you can run through like ManyChat or something like that. Anyone has a question before they complete a checkout, you can be there, get a message through and help them out and get them over the line. Fire pixels before redirect. I think this is more techie developer stuff outside of my normal area, but if you want to fire pixels, there's the option to do it. And then you can add in all sorts of other marketing tracking parameters, okay, as to where your traffic is coming from. Previously I've mentioned things about UTMs when we were talking about email marketing, but yeah, you can sort of link in traffic sources into your SamCart, so you can see where the traffic's coming from for a page. You can link into your Facebook account, get Google Analytics going on your pages, and you could also track all sorts of other custom parameters as well. So there's a lot of flexibility for tracking your pages and your traffic. Okay. Processes. Okay, this is where I put in my PayPal account. Okay, you can see at the moment it says subscriptions and upsells disabled because I don't have those reference transactions on my business PayPal account. Okay, but it'd be very easy to just click on here and say, right, I'm going to add a Stripe account. This will probably try and connect with one of our existing accounts, which I'm not going to put into here, but there's a button there to create a new account. Okay, so it just walks you straight through the process, dead easy. All right, you can turn off individual payment processes. So if you want to swap from one account to another, it's very easy to turn one off and activate another one. And you can also see historical ones of ones you turned off and what your active ones are as well. With the Stripe integration in here, one of the great features that that does is it enables digital wallets to be used on people's mobile devices. So because over 50% of all sales now are done on, well over 50% are done on mobile devices, people are using digital wallets, which is things like the Apple Pay and Google Pay and Samsung Pay. It's all on your phone, it's all on your watches as well. You know, it's dead easy to buy things. I'll come back to you, Robert, on that question a bit later. I want to know if you could link affiliate products without taking payments. It was one thing I was going to cover. So the digital wallet aspect is growing and growing and growing, and it makes it very easy for people to buy. And I think at the moment it's over 45% of sales are now done through online sales are done through a digital wallet, people using GPay, Apple Pay. It's more normal to use GPay or those digital wallets than it is to use your debit or credit card details. So it's really important to have that flexibility, that functionality in your shopping carts to get conversions. Okay, and SamCart gives you that. Okay, integrations. Integrations are all the other software that you can connect with SamCart, and I'll show you what the options are. It's not a huge amount straight away, but there's some really important ones. So you've got Active Campaign. So we use that to send sales details between, if you buy something from our SamCart account, it sends it to our CRM system. So that, for instance, we can buy something in here, send a note to our CRM that then tags you and sends you a welcome email. That's why it all happens automatically. Then you've got all the other bits and pieces, ConvertKit, Facebook in there, Get Response, Kajabi, you can get a payment and give someone a course straight away. MailChimp is in there. ShipStation, which does physical shipping. Thinkific courses as well, wishlist members. So there's quite a few options. And for anything else, you can just use Zapier. Okay, so I'm going to show you just a quick integration. Okay, I'm going to put my MailChimp account in. And it's basically as simple as this. I'm just going to log in here. Send my 2FA code in. Yeah, it's come through here. 68666. Okay, and I just get to say I'm going to allow SamCart to access my MailChimp, and it's kind of like a two-way integration. Okay, and simple as that. I've now connected my SamCart with MailChimp. Okay, which is brilliant. I could now then set up a global rule, which is something that happens with every sort of transaction. And we've got two sort of trigger bases in SamCart. We've got an e-commerce based trigger, so something to do with someone buying something, or something to do with the courses. Okay, I'm just going to set up an e-commerce trigger, and we get these different options to base it on. So order completed, or a product added to order, purchase, refunded, partially refunded. Basically anything you can think of as an action in a payment is covered in one of these options. If someone's bought an upsell, bang. So if I say, if someone buys a product, I want to send them across to my MailChimp automation, and I want to add them to my email list. Okay, it then just sort of brings across information from my MailChimp account, and bang, that's it. So anyone buys from me on this account, all their details go straight to my CRM system automatically, on my MailChimp system. It's dead easy. So when I show you the products, you'll be able to see that each individual product has its own set of rules that you can add in. And that's when you can start tagging people to say, someone's bought my Google course, and tag them in your MailChimp account as a Google course purchaser. And then you could set up an automation to send them a thank you email. So it's really nice and smooth and simple. Okay, so that's the integration side. Email is sort of the default email settings on the where you're that are going out to your customers on purchase. So we can add in stuff to your email footers. Okay, I'm not going to bore you with this. This is just something you have to go through and sort of personalize for your own particular business. Okay, but you can switch various settings on here and change emails. You can add in custom fields. Okay, so custom fields are if you wanted to pick up an extra bit of information on a purchase. So if you wanted someone's date of birth, or their pet dog's name, or whatever, you could create, if you were selling stuff for a pet store and you want to know what the dog's name was, then you could create a custom field that allows customers to put in that information into the checkout process. Then you've got users, which are the people who you can allow to access your account on the back end here. So that's your staff team or developer. And then you've got the option of custom domains. Okay, so custom domains is if you are adding in a different website URL as a course link, as a product link. Okay, so instead of a funny URL with all the normal gubbins, you could have a custom domain that is like getsamcart.co.uk is a custom domain. It just redirects to that our affiliate link on SamCart. Okay, so custom domains is quite useful for some people. All right, so that's the settings side. Right, where to start? The first thing to start is creating a product. Okay, unless you're using SamCart to create and sell courses, in which case you might want to create a course first and then create a page to sell that course. Okay, but I'm just going to start as a product here. Just as simple steps. You put in your product name. I'll just call it test. Okay, a little description. And then you've got a choice of options. Okay, on your payment setup, you've either got a single one-time payment, a recurring payment, or a limited subscription, or a pay what you want. So for these ones, you've got to have Stripe put in, so I'm going to choose those. A limited subscription might be to allow someone to charge a course across 3 monthly payments or 6 monthly payments. That's a limited subscription. And recurring is obviously recurring until it's cancelled. So I'm going to, they have got this pay what you want option. I'm not quite sure what circumstances you might have that in, but I think it's maybe more common in America for, I think you can set a minimum price on this of what people can offer you. Okay, but let's just go simple as a one-time payment. And my test product is going to be 45 quid. Okay, so then you can build out your product, and we'll put in all the product details here. We could then do the checkout design, how the payments work, any upsells that we want to add in, how the individual emails and integrations work, and then there's some advanced stuff that we'll briefly look at as well. So building out a simple product. Okay, and remember, this is just kind of like the information page of your product. It's not actually it's the information behind the checkout link and the checkout page for your product. Okay, so you can add SKUs, you can change the way that the product is labeled in your own internal directory, but I never usually have to muck around with that. You can change the URL for the sales page. So as long as they're sort of hyphenated or whatever, you'd be quite happy to go, right, here's the sales link of automatenow.samcart.com/products buy my course. Would take you through to this sales page that we're building. Okay, you can pop up a little product image. This is an image that goes in your directory, not into the front-facing bit. Okay, so someone might want to keep a track. If you've got lots of different products, it's easier to follow them in your directory from a picture. Then you've got the price that you can change around in there as well. Order redirect. Okay, so once someone buys, you might want to just send them an order summary, or you might want to take them to a sort of custom page on your website, a custom thank you page, something like that, that then moves people through. So I was being asked earlier, this is a good point to pop it in. I think it was Robert who was asking about affiliate products. Yeah, could we link to affiliate products without taking payments? No is the answer, because every product has got to have a price. Okay, so it's got to be price related to be able to move them on, and you can't have a zero price product. You could have a 1p product, but not, so you can't use it as a sort of intermediate page, unless you were selling something to someone for a very small amount of money. But yes, you have to have a price in there. Okay, I think, sorry, it makes more sense to answer that question at that point. Okay, so you can create individual sort of tags to organize your products as well. Then down here, you can choose the type of product you're selling. So is it a digital or physical service, or is it an actual physical product? And you can then put in your shipping charges as well. And and you can restrict your shipping locations in the normal way. Okay, but for the digital file or service, you can choose whether people are getting delivered their purchase in a file upload or a file link. It doesn't really matter too much ways. Normally, we just if you buy something from us, it's a course or something, and we send you a members area login. So this bit doesn't really apply. But if you had a hosted product on your website, or if it's something like a ClickBank link, then it might be that you've then allowed people to access the purchase files from your website media. Okay, but it gives, basically what it does do is it gives you flexibility on what you're selling and how you're then delivering it. Okay. You can also allow coupons on your product as well. So if you want to add special offer coupons that offer discounts, you can do that quite easily. So either a percentage or a flat rate, and you can apply it to all products or individual products. Okay, so coupon management is quite a useful asset to have. Checkout we'll come to a little bit. I'll come back to that last because that gets a bit more involved. Payments. Okay, so I'm allowing people to pay with PayPal, which is great. If I had Stripe in here, it would also be then allowing people to pay by credit cards and debit cards, and it will also have an option to allow people to pay by the digital wallets. Okay. If we had more products in here, you could pop those in. We could also, if we wanted to, add in an upsell sales funnel, which I'll show you very quickly how that works in a little while when we get to that, and you can split test your sales funnel. Okay, so essentially imagine I had selling this one course for 45 quid, and I wanted to sell an hour of coaching time as an option to help people put it together. I could create a product for to sell an hour of coaching, and create that as a product, make it as an upsell product, and then put an option that in when someone's bought the first page, it will then take them of the product from the first page that we're going to create here. It would then take them to another page saying, hey, do you want to add on this extra benefit? Or you can put it inside the checkout page itself as a click on extra. Okay, but so it's just a great way if you've got lots of little bits of products that you can then bundle together or add on into a checkout process. You can put them in front of your customers. They can only buy it or not. Okay, so but it's gives you quite a lot of flexibility. You can personalize the email for your particular product, the sales email. So if you've got something different to say, or if you were selling an event, say, or a ticket, you could send a different thank you email that says, hey, we'll be sending you out the ticket information separately, whatever. Okay, just gives you those options. Then we've got the integration rules. Okay, so remember I've got mine linked in with MailChimp. So I could then say when someone buys this product, product purchased, I could go across to my MailChimp automation, and I could then add them to a list. If you've got something like Active Campaign, it might give you the option of adding a tag to them as well. Okay, but I might want to add them to a list in MailChimp, which is a list of people who've bought this particular course, and then create some automations from that. Let's go there. Okay, so that's just a simple automation in there. Okay, there's less options because I haven't really built out my MailChimp options yet, but it's nice and simple. Okay, if someone was buying a course for you in Kajabi, I could have an integration that says if they bought this product in here, then it delivers them a particular course in Kajabi, which is kind of how we do it for a lot of our courses from this way that we have on Kajabi. So nice and powerful. Yes, you can do some SEO on your individual pages if you want to. Not many people want to put sort of SEO on individual sales pages, but you could do if it's something that's going to be up there for a long time. And then you've got all the advanced stuff, okay, super duper advanced stuff, which allows you to put HTML headers in your design, or you can actually do the whole sales page as an HTML sales page if you're super techie wizard. And you can add in custom domains. You can allow people to buy the product for someone else as well. If you want to temporarily close checkout a product, so if you've run out of stock, you could close the checkout, or if you only had 100 seats to sell, you could close it after 100 seats, or if it's a particular date, close after a certain date. Lots of flexibility. You can change the individual words as they appear in the checkout form. So this SamCart has its own standard language, but if you don't want zip code somewhere, you wanted postal code instead, you could just write these in here how you want it to appear. And then super important one is the taxes on here. So if you're VAT registered, selling things abroad with digital sale taxes can be a bit of a nightmare. Okay, so we have this option to use the Taxjar information to calculate the correct sales tax. Okay, so yeah, sorry, I have to come back to this because I have to allow the billing address in the product sales. So I'll show you how that works in a moment. Before I move on, I'm just going to save those changes and then pop into the checkout designs. So this is the all important. Okay, you can start with the empty layout, or you can choose one of their pre-made blueprints. Okay, and there's stuff for every different type of product, but it's really more the look of, or the setup and the structure of the sales page that you are interested in, rather than what it's actually selling. I kind of like the two-page, two-column checkouts, so that you've got the checkout form on the right-hand side and the information on the left, or you can change it around. So we're just going to let's just choose that one. Dead easy. Okay, so I'll choose that as a template, and then launch a drag and drop builder. So options. Okay, so we can then just change around individual blocks and images to build up the sales copy for your particular product. You know, if you've used these sort of softwares before, it's fairly straightforward. So I could put in a headline in here, just drag and drop, and write that in, change all the individual fonts for that particular section, change the way that it lines up with other blocks in the sales page. So and you can change that color as well. That's probably a bit rubbish, but yeah, it gives you a lot of flexibility to try and make your sales page as good as you can get it. Okay, and what's really useful is it has the option for a particular section to be turned off on a mobile or a desktop. Okay, so you might want a slightly different setup on a mobile view, so you get it more compact. You might not want this bit to appear in the mobile view, and I'll just turn that image off on mobiles. Okay, so with all these checkouts, it's always really important that you, before you launch them, that you check them fully on your desktop devices to make sure that they look perfect, and then check them on mobiles to make sure that they look great. So at the top of the page, there is the option to switch between the two previews. Okay, so I've now got the mobile view, which doesn't have that. Oh, which one did I take out? There's something I took out. Oh, I didn't press save, did I? That's what the issue was. Always remember to press save. Okay, I'm just going to publish that one. It takes me back to main page. Just go back to that drag and drop builder. Okay, that's better. All right, so that bit doesn't appear in the mobile view. Phew, I knew it would work. Okay, right. You can, I mean, there is so much that you can change around in here. You can add a video in as well. So if you wanted a sales video, you can just pop that in there. The settings, you can have the source settings over here for the video from YouTube or Wistia or Vimeo or some sort of custom code. Change the sizing of the video. It's great. Change how it appears and colors, etc. Okay, so really nice and flexible of what you can do with it. Okay, let's get rid of video, and then you can all put things like countdown timers in and guarantees and media grids, whatever they are. A media grid, so lots of different, basically lots of different photographs. Okay, so you can build out any which way you like for that product. I don't want that in there, and I don't want that in there. Get rid of it. You can also have sort of default looks of individual products. So if I wanted to put stuff into the feature area, so it just sort of structures it nice and simply, just so you can build it up as you go along. Okay, let me just get rid of that. I'll just undo that. Okay, and then you can also change the whole font settings, the checkout forms, the page style and templates. Okay, this is going to get the billing address. I can get and put in email confirmation as well to confirm it. You can put in a reCAPTCHA. You can choose which cards you accept on your checkout. So if it's only those three, that's fine. You can choose the way that the cards appear. I don't have them on mine because I don't have Stripe integrated. You can change what it says on the button as well. All right, so you kind of get the idea. that there's lots and lots of flexibility, and it just takes time to play with it. Final thing is you can put that terms and conditions checkbox, which is quite important nowadays, that people agree to your terms and conditions of sale. And you just link it to a website link on your website, and that doesn't really matter too much, but it'll just put in that this is £45, which is, if you've got international buyers, makes more sense. Okay, so lots of functionality. Let's just publish that page. Hopefully, I've just made sure that there is a billing address. Okay, you must have a marketplace address defined to turn on the tax collection. Okay, right, no problem. Let's just do that because it's going to make more sense to do that. General marketplace address. Okay. So I'm just going to use the Internet Business School one in here. Let's choose our country. Dead important United Kingdom is down here. London. Where's the code? 282JR, lovely. And region is actually county in the UK, which makes no sense for London, but it's useful everywhere else. So let's just go back to there. We've put an address in. We've got our product. I just want to go back and test the tax stuff. Okay, yeah, so now I've put the address in. It will allow me to turn on VAT. So if you're VAT registered, super important. Tax category. Again, this is tax category is only important if you're in America and trading between states in America. But there's a whole list of individual categories of product that you can sell. So if you're selling digital newspapers on this product, you'd choose that one, and it would define the right tax rates for your product amongst selling to different states in America. Okay, but we just want it as standard none, but we want the VAT to be collected and calculated correctly on our international sales. Okay, so I'll just show you how that works. So if we then look at a preview of that sales page, okay, at the moment it's 45 quid, but if I then hold on, it hasn't come up as VAT because I haven't put a VAT number in. Okay, it should calculate the correct final price here for the product, so it should say sort of 495 plus VAT, and if you're in America, the final price will be 495, and it will be dictated by the tax rate for the individual country. Okay, sorry that didn't work, but that's how it does work. Take my word for it. I won't just sort of bumble around and try and fix it at the moment. Okay, so that's the basics of setting up a product. Okay, and then essentially you have a link, a page that you can direct traffic to sell your course. Okay, so yeah, if I just take that, if this was the URL in your marketing or behind a buy now button or find out more button, you just put this behind that that advert in Facebook, say, find out more about my course and buy it, bang, take you through to this page. Okay. Okay, so that's how those sales pages work. Cool. Let's get rid of that bit. Oh, let's go rid of here. All right, so that is creating a product. So when you've got orders and customers, you'll be able to search them here, look at subscriptions and individual charges. You can create upsells, as I said. I'd need an extra product to go in here, but I could create as I said, a sort of an hour coaching, say, quickly, and say, do you want to buy this extra hours coaching as an upsell? Okay, and same way that you can add in a sort of a funnel steps for those to go. If you don't want this one, how about, you know, upsells and downsells effectively? How about having something else instead? Okay, but I'd need more funnel, more products to be able to show you this fully, but it is there. You can get all your different reports in here as well, and you can export them to Excel. And then you've got all the app side. Okay, so these are locked because you only get these with the 199 subscriptions, the affiliate center, subscription saver, which will send an email if someone's payment doesn't go through on a subscription. Also has a cart abandonment follow-up, which is really cool. So if someone's, you know, been looking at one of your courses and not completed the checkout, they'll get a note saying, hey, have you forgotten? So anything to help you get people over the line. Okay, but then let's go into the courses app, because this is the other cool thing that they added on for courses. So I've never really built a course in SamCart because all ours are in Kajabi. So I was coming to it fresh to play around and see how it works. And it's pretty much straightforward. The great thing about SamCart is it has lots of really good help videos. So you can go anywhere and get a how-to video, and they're usually pretty short and pretty simple and step by step. They're really good. So if you ever get stuck, just head to the help videos. Okay, so I was going to start creating a course. I haven't got any students in here as well, but my settings for my members area on my membership site, I can upload a quick logo in here and change the name of the library as people log in, change all the brand colors as well to however it suits you. There's a really good tool called I think it's color.io for creating website colors. Has anyone ever used that? I'm sure it's color.io. Oh no, it's not that one. Website color templates generator. Maybe it's coolers.co. That's it. Okay. Yeah, we'll accept cookies on this one. Okay. This is super simple. Okay. I'm going to show you how it works. Okay, so here are some colors. Do we like them or not? Okay, if we don't like them, I'm going to click the space bar and move on to another set of colors. Is there any color there that we like? No. Okay, but maybe I like this color. Okay, and I'm going to lock that color in and then press the space bar, and it will show me some other complementary colors that go with that particular shade of blue. So if we like to keep that red against the blue, lock that one in place, spacebar again. Oh, that's a bit wild. Keep on going. Okay, if you particularly like that one. You see what I mean? This is coolors.co, COOLORS.co. Okay, you see what I mean? You can just keep on collecting it. It'll only show you the complementary colors that go with your other ones. Okay, and once I've got that match, you've got all these different hex codes. You can save it, log in. You can just sign in for free with your Google account, and have access to those color codes. So if I wanted that hex code for that particular color, and change that in my branding, let's just go down here, copy that in there. Oh, come on, you can do it. Okay, there's my change my primary color code to that. Okay, and I'd just copy all the other ones across. If I was not going to be as mad to keep those colors, but do you see what I mean? You could create something really cool that makes let's put that into the chat. Coolors.co. It's quite a useful one just for anyone really to have it set around. A good tool. All right, so yeah, you could build up the colors of your course library. Okay, and have it set up exactly how you like it, and then also, yes, your time zone always seems to come up as America first. What are we? Europe, London. Okay, and as ever, save changes. Okay, so that's the simple basic settings for your membership site. For courses, you can just sort of create a name and then build it out from there. I've just got a little bit of a head start on this. Courses basically come as here's the overview of the actual course itself. The course title I put in. You can, here's the course URL. You can change that to whatever you like. If that was just get a grip, just to tidy up, pretty up your course link. And then you can write the whole sort of the sort of sales gumph on your course on your dashboard, which is just a quick few words that sell your course, and then you can build out a whole description. You can add video, images, all sorts normal sort of tools you've got on a website page builder. Add my buttons, things like that. Okay, so nice and simple to build that sort of sales page. Building out units and lessons. So SamCart basically allows you to either create something that's just simple lesson 1, lesson 2, lesson 3, or it can allow you to bring something, have units with individual lessons within that unit. Okay, so you get 2 different structures that you can use for your course. Okay, so I just created one quite simply that said, right, here's unit 1, and pop in the first 4 lessons titles. Okay, so very quickly you could build up the structure of a course. If you've got an existing course online already somewhere else, you've got all the content and the structure, so much easier because you're just sort of copying and pasting stuff across from wherever you've got it now into here. So I'll show you how relatively easy that is. Again, each lesson you've build out the entire content with the normal tools. I've just made it big screen here, but if I wanted to put in a photo, can file. One of the cool things in here, where is it? There, it has a personalization setting that you can add in. I came across it. Oh yeah, cool. Yeah, so it's this little icon down here. So if you were building a course that someone's bought, and the first module, you would, instead of saying welcome to the first module of our course, you could go, hi, let's just put it in, hi, first name, glad to have you here. Okay, and so it's going to know who's bought the course because they put their name in the checkout. So it's going to say, hi, Roger, thanks for buying my product. Okay, so really useful to make a user-friendly course. Okay, let's just minimize that one. Let's just press save. Okay, I can then also add audio as well. You can add a download to a module as well. And now you can add unlimited video as well. So 2 ways of adding video: either uploading your video as an MP4 file, or you can add it via a URL. Okay, so that's either a YouTube link, a Vimeo link, or a Wistia link. So nice and simple. You don't have to use, if you've got Vimeo, you don't have to use the SamCart video, but it's there if you want to. Okay, so just chuck that in. You can add your downloads here as well. You can make quizzes as well. I haven't tried to do this, but I'm sure it's pretty much straightforward. Add a little test on each lesson, or you can add downloadable worksheets as well. So it just means with a little bit of work, you could build out a course fairly quickly. So this is how the sort of front page of the course would look to your new purchaser. Okay, on purchase, they would get sent a login detail to access the course straight away, and yeah, you can just set this up really nice and easy. Just build it out. And if you've got the content already from a previous course, it'll be a lot easier as well. You can also set up the modules or the lessons to drip out as well. So I don't know, there was a bit that I can't remember how I saw it. Well, I've got to make it published as well. I might have to come back to that one. I definitely saw it. Okay, look there, scheduling. Okay, so you can drip out the course by unit or by lesson. So if you wanted to give a new unit every week or every month, you can just set that up, no problem at all, and set it up on a particular day of the week, or after 7 days, time it all out completely. Okay, you can put in a public view of the course as well if you want to, or you just use that SamCart sales page. So if you created one of the products pages, you could put that in here as well. Okay, so the link to the SamCart checkout page, where students can purchase the course. Okay, so it just makes it nice and easy to get them through. You can also cross-sell as well. So if you've got more than one course, you can put in suggestions to say, hey, do you want to buy this next course now as well? Okay, so lots of flexibility as you grow. Most people, you're going to start with one course and see how it goes. But then you've got that tool for $49 a month to add more and sell. It's pretty powerful. Okay, so I'm sorry I didn't have time to build a fill course for you, but I'm building a couple of other courses at the moment and doing one for someone else, and also doing Saturday schools and all sorts of stuff. So there's not enough hours in the day. Okay, but essentially that is the sort of master overview of SamCart. One last thing is to show you that they also include a training library. Okay, which when you first join takes you through all the various steps involved in setting up the platform. Okay, and their help system's really, really cool. Nice and easy, lots of video use, really engaging. Okay, it's their job to make sure that you can take as much money as possible on it. All right, so they'll do anything they can. They've been nothing but great for me. The SamCart support. Okay, so deep dive through. Any questions before we let you go and enjoy the rest of the sunny day? I appreciate it. I can see a few people have left in the chat at the moment. I'll see if there's any other questions that I've missed on the way. There's a few people who've had to duck out. Robert, I've dealt with that question about being able to do it as a individual affiliate pay. No, you've got to, all the products have got to have a payment associated with them. Okay, so they're not as easy for that affiliate side. Okay, so if you're doing affiliate marketing, then the Leadpages is the more powerful for that process. Mike, can I add widgets for accessibilities? I don't quite understand where you would add a widget. You can add HTML into the headers and footers of the of each of the sales pages. So I was saying that you could use like a mini chat. You could put a chat bot into a sales page, not a problem. And David, yeah, no, I've answered that one. So it's not for affiliate products. No. Dion says, yeah, will this video go onto YouTube? Yes, it will go onto YouTube. You usually do it like a week afterwards to one, encourage people to turn up to the live events, and two, also because it takes a bit of time to edit during the week. So it's usually a week afterwards. Okay, Mike, can I add widgets for disabilities? Okay, most people would have disability or the accessibility widgets on their desktop. So I think you think about things like page readers, etc. I don't know. So it would really be looking at, you know, as long as that widget is active on a sales page, if it has some embed code, then perhaps you could put it into one of the pages. Okay. Luther asks, can I transfer my Kajabi course videos, which are PowerPoint videos? Yeah, so if you've got a course on Kajabi, you could just build out the course again in SamCart, as long as you've got the MP4 videos, or you've got them on Vistia, or if you've got them on, we prefer YouTube because you can secure them to the particular domains where they can be played. Then yeah, just put the links in across, and you could, if you've got the content, you could copy and paste it in a day or in a morning and build it up. Not a problem. Build a sales page, and you've got you can move it across your existing Kajabi customers. Not a problem. So I think yeah, one of the things I didn't show you is on the courses app for the students. So you can either have students register when they purchase, or you can import students. So you could add a manual student. I haven't. So if I want to get people onto my one course there, I could just upload a CSV file to set them up, and they'd all be sent a welcome email. Or you could add a student individually, leave the password blank, and it sends them an email to give them a generated password. Okay, so really easy to bring across from other platforms. N says, is this not suitable for a total new beginner without a business? No, look, no, if you haven't got a business yet, it's not right for you. But if you don't know what the options are, you start a business, then this might save you, a year's time or 2 years' time. When you are ready, you're ahead of the game. You know what the various platforms can do. So yeah, it might not be right for you now, but you always got to look ahead further down the line. Okay, no problem. Peter, should social media icons be added to these sales pages? You could potentially add them as codes on there. You can link in Facebook, but honestly, these are landing sales pages. These are pages that you've worked hard to get someone from social media or to come and to the point of buying your course. Okay, so you don't really want to send them back there. You want to keep them on that sales page and try and convert them to get them to buy. Okay, no problem. Right, Luther, is it safe to upload the PowerPoint videos? So your videos won't be in PowerPoint, they'll be MP4 files. So I should think, I don't know about PowerPoint videos. I think the videos allowed, there's a whole lot of file formats that they have as video files, okay, which you just go into the help center. Yeah, if they're MP4 files, then they're fine. That's fine. So let's go video formats, uploading a video to your course. Okay, and it will tell you somewhere in here what files you can have. So they recommend MP4s with a 640, 840. Okay, so you can see all the settings, and these are the file types of videos that they have. So you can have movies, MPGs, and I think there would be kind of like enough file formats there to cover you. Okay, I said the support bit is really cool. All the answers are there. Okay. Dion says, how useful is SamCart for Android smartphones? It's fully customizable for to appear on any smartphone. Okay, I remember when I was making that product and you went between the desktop view and a mobile view. Okay, that's how it is. Okay, there's no other sort of customization involved. It's about making sure that your sales page appears beautifully on whatever device people are looking at it. Because, you know, we've all seen a rubbish sales page that looks a bit quirky and clunky, and you think, oh, if this looks this bad, what's the product going to be like? Okay, so that's why it's really important to check those different views. Okay, cool, fantastic. I hope you enjoyed today. I know it's quite there's a lot to go through when you're looking at one of these sort of software platforms, and it may not be right for you now. It may be something that is never right for you, but learning about the features is really important for your whole journey of internet marketing, because in a year or two's time, it might be the actual perfect solution for you, or for a friend or a colleague to recommend that for them. Okay, so yeah, have a look at getsamcart.co.uk. It costs you nothing to have a look, but if it's if you've got one of those platforms already, then I'd encourage you to take a serious look at moving across, because it could save you money and make you more money, which has got to be good. Okay, guys, have a fantastic rest of the day. Stay cool, and certainly don't get too hot, and have an ice cream for me. Thank you very much. See you next time.